Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live. Man United 1, West Ham 1. Relegation struggler West Ham, bottom 3 West Ham, came to Man United, came to Old Trafford and got a point. Let's start with a lineup. There was no need to bench Lenioro for the mistake he made in the last game. And considering that if Delete was fit, it would be okay to bench Yoro. But since Delete is injured, to start young Heaven instead of Lenioro, who's also a young player who is still learning, was a mistake. You should have started Yoro, and Heaven is a player you give him a few minutes here and there. You bring him on when you bring Heaven when your team is winning. You don't start him at Old Trafford against West Ham and you bench Yoro for a mistake he made in the previous game. So that decision backfired. Luckily for United, the Leeds injury is not that serious, and he will be back next game. It was more like a knock because Amorim was asked about that. So Heaven get a yellow card in the first few minutes, and then he had to be subbed at halftime. That change proved that the decision to start him in the first place was a mistake. That was one thing. Not to mention that in the team, a lot of players are playing our position, and this been going on since Amorim took charge. Dalot, although he scored a good goal, on the left, he doesn't offer much. He's better off starting at him as a right wing side, as a right wing back than a left wing back. Bruno in midfield. That midfield was being overrun by West Ham throughout the game, and that leaves the defense very exposed. In the first half, United had a few half chances, but the teams were leveled at halftime was 0-0. And then in the second half, United get in front. Dalot, who wasn't having a good game anyway, but managed to put United in front. And from there on is about in-game management. And Amorim has shown time and time again that his in-game management is poor. He doesn't have tactics. And you remember, you playing against West Ham, who is struggling in the table, who is struggling in the league. You don't need 5 defenders against West Ham when you win in the game. Perhaps you need to bring another midfielder on. Have 3 midfielders. Bring Maino on. Take one of the centre backs. Bring Maino and move Bruno to a number 10 position. With 3 in the middle, it would be a lot harder for West Ham to break Manchester United down. But another problem that you've seen time and time again is United struggle against low block teams. And West Ham, of course, the typical Nuno Espirito Santos team, they knew exactly what they were doing. Against United, what you do, you sit back, you sit tight, and then you invite them to come at you. And you give them the ball, and they don't know what to do with it. And then you hit them in a counter-attack. Amorim's in-game management is atrocious. It's poor. At one stage, he took Cunha off and brought in Ugarte to be more defensive. But that didn't work. And for the life of me, I do not understand, and no one else does, how come Maino can't get a game in this United team with that midfield? How come Maino can't play? Is unbelievable. What is he doing to the boy? Is criminal. And in that game needed a player like Maino to come in and dictate the play, to come in and hold the ball, to come in and come out with the ball, because that's what Man United lacked. They lacked ideas in the midfield. They didn't know what they were doing. And West Ham managed to capitalize on that. So West Ham equalized about less than 10 minutes to the end. And then what does he do? It's 1-1. You need to turn the game around. And he takes Luke Shaw off, and he brings in Martinez, Lisandro Martinez. Another defensive substitution when you need the goal. He took Xerxes off when Xerxes was being one of the best players for Manchester United. If you need the goal, you don't take your striker off. You bring another attacker. That's what you do. But Xerxes should have stayed on the pitch. And if you're going to bring Mount, you bring Mount. Maybe Mount for Cunha would make more sense with Xerxes on the pitch. I'm done talking about Amorim. I've said so many times, you can defend him as much as you like. You can like, it's up to you. You like the guy, you defend the guy, you think it's going to turn good, it's up to you, it's your decision. But I'm telling you, no amount of liking this guy is going to turn him into a good coach. He's not. He's not. Amorim is out of his depth. Doesn't know what he's doing. And it's about time this club makes a decision. Because Manchester United is supposed to be a big club. And big club don't put up with this shite. Amorim is giving us shite week in and week out. And the club is allowing this to continue. Real Madrid wouldn't put up with that. Barcelona wouldn't put up with that. Chelsea wouldn't put up with that. Why are we allowing this guy to get away with blue murder? Why are we allowing this guy, Amorim, to drag the name of the club on the mud? It's unacceptable. It's unbelievable what he's doing at this football club. If you look at his win rate, it must be about 38% or less. What kind of Manchester United manager has a winning rate of 30%? That alone is the biggest red flag that you can see. Enough is enough. It's about the time the club makes a decision. I would have sacked him last summer. But when I was talking about sacking him last summer, some of you guys were saying that it's too soon in his time. I hope you can see for yourself now. It is getting worse. And these December fixtures, they were good fixtures. Those are the games that United should be winning. West Ham, Everton. You know, United go 1 point out 6. It is not acceptable. It is unbelievable that Amorim is getting away with it. And what he's doing to Maino is beyond me. If I was Kobe Maino, I wouldn't panic. Maybe I would try to get out on loan in the summer. Because if Kobe Maino remains a Manchester United player, he will outlast Amorim. Because by the way things are going, I don't think Amorim will last until the end of the season. I don't think so. He can't. It's just a matter of time. Amorim will get sacked. I don't see him turning things around. He doesn't have in him. He's too stubborn, too arrogant. What kind of manager sees things going from bad to worse and doesn't make the changes? The system don't work. You use the system that fits the players you have at your disposal. And they say that the definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect a different result. Amorim have been doing the same thing for over a year now, and he's too stubborn. Everyone's telling him you need to change that formation. Playing free in the midfield would make a huge difference to the team. Playing Bruno as a number 10, Bruno used to be one of the best number 10s in Europe until Amorim arrived to Manchester and decided to turn Bruno into number 6 or number 8. The most creative player that Manchester United has in the squad is being turned into something else. No wonder Bruno has been shite since then. Like Bruno, many players at United are playing our position. And everything is down to this guy Amorim. It's all on him. And if you still want to defend him, you cannot argue with the facts. The numbers don't lie. The winning rate, the performance are shite. Players are out of position. And the worst thing of all, he does not change the system. I don't want to have a manager like that. I don't know about you, but I don't want to have a manager that sees things going wrong and persists with the same system. No, I'm not having that. Anyways, I don't want to rant for too long. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my content. And I'll see you on my next video. Sad day for Manchester United. Another sad day for Manchester United. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.